let's finish our heroine's blocking pass. So after we have finalized the blue character's blocking pass, what that means is we're on the home stretch. We've put a lot of effort into this initial step. And because of that, finalizing the animation will go by much faster. So let's get right to work. We'll go ahead and grab all of her controls. Also make sure we have our character set selected. We'll go to our last frame, which is frame 26. Her momentum continues to move forward, so let's go ahead and make sure that that happens on 26. We'll deselect the feet, just translate her forward in the Z and also in the X. We'll then want to bring her down in the Y-axis to fix the transition of her landing to her coming to her final pose. Okay, let's go ahead and check this in the front view just to make sure she keeps her balance. So she hops over to the side. And in the front view, okay, so let's take a look at this. We can see on frame 22 how she kind of slants too far over in the X-axis, so we can go ahead and bring her back to the character's right, our left, on frame 22, just to make sure that 26, our last frame, will also be fixed. So on frame 22, we'll grab all of her controls. And again, we'll translate her over in the X-axis. Much better. Let's go ahead and take a look at this in the side view. Okay, great. Now on our last frame, frame 26, that means we'll just need to fix her upper body. We'll deselect the feet, translate her back in the X-axis. I'd say that looks good in the side view. Let's make sure she keeps her balance in her back view. Might want to bring her a little bit more over in the X. I'd say that looks pretty good. Great. All right, so let's go ahead and make this last pose very epic. So what we'll do is have the sword kind of swing and follow through, and that will be the end of her animation. So starting at the feet, we'll have her left foot swing around so it's pointed more forward. Making sure that happens on 26. We'll do the same thing for the right foot. Just rotate that in the Y-axis. Then we'll need to fix the knees. You can see they're at a weird angle, so we'll need to make sure they're corrected. That looks much better. Great. Now for the upper body, let's go ahead and make this a little bit easier on us by zeroing out our hip, back, and chest controls. Okay, now we can go ahead and focus on straightening up her center of gravity. I'll grab the Y-axis and rotate that around. Beautiful. And we'll also go ahead and straighten her up in the Z-axis. And now, grabbing all of her controls again, we'll deselect the feet and just translate her in the X-axis a bit more over to her left, our right, looking at the front view again to keep her balanced. And then it might be a matter of translating her forward in the Z-axis also. Great. All right, let's go ahead and rotate the back forward. So grab our back control, rotate that down. Remember, the sword is swinging through, so let's go ahead and grab our chest and rotate that, adding a twist in the Y-axis. I'll probably bring her back up a bit more, and also her center of gravity, just rotate that up some more, just to make sure she's balanced. Great. As far as her head is concerned, we'll want that to point forward. So I'll go ahead and zero out the neck control, do the same thing for the head control. And my mentality with this last pose is really want her to appear very skillful, almost as if the red character was no competition. So thinking about the way we will have her head face, you have a few choices. You could either have the character look back at the red character or have her look forward. I'm in favor for having her look forward simply because, again, that makes her appear very skillful, almost as if the red character was no competition. It never was. So those are the type of things you want to think about. Always get inside your character's mind. All right, let's have the sword swing through. So we'll bring the arm around. We'll grab the elbow control, swing that up, and then fix the shoulder. It's rotated back too far. Okay, beautiful. I'll go ahead and grab the arm and kind of bring that down just a bit more. Swing it around. Okay, great. Taking a look at the blade, we need to make sure that swings around also. These poses can get quite confusing at times, but as long as we're really paying attention, we should be just fine. So of course the body swings around here, but the hand looked just fine for the most part on frame 26, but we need to keep in mind that the body has twisted. Therefore, we need to make sure our arm control also has twisted. So the blade, again, that's going to swing around, move behind her. We'll fix the silhouette of the arm. Maybe bring the elbow up just a bit more. And tweak the shoulder. Okay, great. Now for the left arm, could also have that swing around and kind of extend out. So we're really making this last pose very powerful. To stay consistent with the animation, just to make this exciting. And make sure that we end strong. So we'll have that extend out. Grab the elbow, swing that up. Bring the arm down just a little bit more. That looks really nice. In this view, let's go ahead and take a look at her shoulder. Might want to make a slight tweak to that. Rotating it over a bit more, considering the position of her arm. See, that looks good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the transition between 22, 26. Okay, great. I really like that. Feel free to also tweak her fingers. So here, let's see, what can we do? Maybe we can open up the fingers a bit more. Bring the thumb in a bit more also. Just kind of rotate the mid and end. And point the thumb down a bit more, and then we can go to the index and open that up a bit more. Grab the mid parameter. Bring that up. That looks nice. Just trying to aim for a more powerful gesture. We have these extra pinky controls to move the base of the pinky. So let's make sure we work with those. Then we'll grab the ring control and bring that down. Again, for a better hand gesture at the very end. Let's also grab the mid finger control and bring up its mid and end attributes. So let's say that looks really nice. Might want to open up the thumb a bit more there. That looks good. Beautiful. Okay, so can, let's say, do a final tweak where we have the blade swing around a bit more, not into her arm. Have that brought up, and then rotate it down. Okay, I like that. Great. So there's her final pose. So let's go ahead and think about a breakdown to this. It might be easier to animate the breakdown from her last pose. So thinking about the follow through here, what I'll do is go ahead and middle click from frame 26, middle click on about frame 24, press the S key, that way we can lock this pose in, and then have the body twist closer to what we have on frame 22, just so we have a nice smooth transition. So I'll just go to the center of gravity, kind of twist that back around, grab the back control, rotate that up, going back to the center of gravity. Again, we'll have that twist back. Do the same thing for the chest, have it kind of twist back a bit more. Might want to grab the back control here on 24 and kind of just rotate her over to the side. Looks like she was leaned too far to her right. Okay, then we can go ahead and add more twist to her torso. I'll go back to the back and kind of lean that forward just a bit more. And maybe grab the chest, bring that more forward, just translating it forward and not add as much twist. Again, we want a nice smooth transition. Okay, that's getting better. And now for the blade, let's go ahead and have that swing back in the opposite direction. Maybe have it pointed a bit more forward. And make sure we get a nice in-between. And then for the elbow, of course, we'll want to rotate that down and fix her right shoulder. For her left arm, what I'd like to do here is actually grab the left arm on frame 22, middle click on 24, press Shift W and Shift E to lock in the position and orientation of the wrist, just to make it a little bit easier to pose it on 24. So now we can have that move forward, grab the elbow, bring that down, then fix the rotation of the wrist. Considering the follow through that would happen here, probably want to rotate it forward and down to make the motion fluid when we finally get into this last pose. I want to kind of bring the arm up here and then tweak the left shoulder, rotating that forward. Okay, beautiful. Okay, thinking about her head and neck, we'll want to have the neck rotate down. Maybe a bit more. And then we can possibly have the head twist back over to her right. A bit more here too. Great. I like to almost have the right arm extend out further for this twisting action she's doing. And then of course we'll want to tweak the hips. Let's go ahead and open those up. Selecting all of her controls, we're just about finished with this pose. We'll deselect the feet and just translate her over to keep her balanced. Great. So we've added our in-between. This looks really nice. Looks like on frame 26, the elbow needs some work. That pose probably was not locked in, so we'll just go ahead and make sure we translate that up to save the pose. And there we have it. So we have managed to finish the blocking pass of the blue character, which is really exciting. We'll just now want to just go through and just double check all of our poses just to make sure we're satisfied, make sure we haven't lost any information we'd like to keep. And I'd say this looks really nice. All right. So that's what you just want to do from here. Just go through and kind of tweak your poses to what you'd like to see by the very end of the animation. That's going to finish this lesson. So in the next lesson, we're ready to start locking down our poses and smoothing out the animation. So we're going to go ahead and start with refining the performance of our red character first.